Hey, Al McCoy here, and you are listening to the Solar Panel, the Phoenix Suns Show.
And we appreciate you for watching the Sun Solar Panel podcast. Remember that you can always subscribe anywhere for the full version that you listen to podcasts, whether that be Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Play, Spotify, wherever. My name's Tim Tompkins. We have Dave King as well as Greg Esposito on this episode. So, starting this one off with something a little bit light, Mikal Bridges looking at his basketball reference nicknames. And I think that they could use a little bit of a revamp. So these are the ones that are listed on Basketball Reference for our beloved rookie, Mikal Bridges. The nicknames include Noodles.
Noodles?
Inspector Go-Go Gadget.
Holy crap.
String Bean.
No, God.
Do they just make some of these up? Like
Brittle.
Brittle?
What?
That's been Devin Booker the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, that's right. Brittle Booker.
And a Praying Mantis.
I don't mind that one, but how about Bridges over Troubled Waters?
Oh, God. That's just awful.
It is. It's very bad.
That's worse than Brittle. Are you serious? Those are his nicknames?
Yeah, so I think that we need to come up with something else. I came up with one, and I think that we should call him Hands.
Oh, God.
No, the reason for it is because when you have a player that is constantly getting steals, constantly getting deflections, constantly getting blocks, especially somebody that's not a big that's doing those types of things. A lot of the times in pickup games, you call them Hands, and that becomes like their nicknames because they have really great hands. So I thought for Mikal Bridges, Hands might be one option.
How about the McHale man because he delivers on the defensive end?
Oh, I like that one actually.
I don't get it. I'm not a nickname guy, though.
You don't get what isn't there to get?
I don't get how great it is what I mean.
Oh, I got you.
I just don't get how great it is. I mean, I'm not against just calling him Inspector Gadget. That's not bad. It's just the go Inspector Gadget is way too long.
Because Inspector Gadget had the arms that went everywhere, and
I get it. Yeah, I like Gadget. Gadget's fine. The thing is with me, if you're going to have a nickname, it should be shorter than the full name. Otherwise, just say the full name. So, Go Inspector Gadget is way too long.
He does have a 7'1" wingspan, which is
coming. He does have long arms, and they do look, I guess if there wasn't already a Spider out there, that'd be a good one. Spider would be good.
Spider Bridges.
Mickey Longlegs. No, that doesn't sound right.
Mickey
Growth chart.
Growth chart.
So maybe we can call on our.
That's why there aren't any better ones on basketball.
we need some better ones. Well, we don't. He does. So, go ahead, hit us up on Twitter if you're watching on YouTube right now. Leave them in the comments below. Okay, and then this is very important. So I actually thought that this was a joke.
Wait, what was the name of the bad guy in the Spider-Man movie?
Doc Ock.
Doc Ock. No, that doesn't fit either. Nick Ock. No. All right, never mind. Go ahead. Next topic.
So I thought that this was a joke. And I've thought it was a joke for like the last month. I'm like, there's no way that this is real. This is some sort of like people playing around with Photoshop on the internet and, just making fun of the team. And I get it. It turns out it's not. Northern Arizona Suns becoming the NAZ Rodeo Clowns. And I got to tell you, man, these guys, they're trying to get into the league. They're working really hard. Don't do this to them.
Well, and they're already playing for an organization that gets called clowns all the time. So
yeah,
don't dress them up like them. Like just give them a break.
Just call them the Bulls or something. I mean, if you're gonna do the rodeo theme, because that's what they were going for, is the rodeo theme. That's the history of that area. Apparently, is proud of their rodeo history. But don't be the clown. We're already clowns.
Be the bull riders or something, like something cool. Like call them the riders, and it's a bull rider thing or something. It's something. Don't call them the clown.
Yeah.
And the
That's like the
uniforms
worst.
make
That's like
it
the court
worse.
jester. If you want to be royal, oh, let's call us the court jesters. No, you call yourselves the kings.
Heck, even the princes. I'll take the paupers even. Like, but why seriously, the uniforms too.
I bet even Prescott is disappointed in Rodeo Clowns.
But no, Prescott's distancing itself from Prescott Valley right now. They're going, no, we're two different places. We're not. Prescott Valley is his own thing right now. Nope.
We always knew Prescott Valley sucked. Yeah.
Yeah. What the hell is this? I mean, the uniforms make it worse. And I'm a uniform guy, and they're so bad that I want one just because of how awful they are, because nobody will believe it ever happened 20 years from now.
Are they bad, or are they actually kind of amazing?
No, they are god awful.
You would wear them to like a Halloween.
No, I wouldn't. I would never put that on my body for anything. And the poor guys, like, to your point, a George King who's a rookie who's just trying to get in the league has to dress like an asshole right now. All right, pardon my language, but he's got to go out there and do his profession in that outfit. All right.
There has been some crazy outfits in the G League over the last couple of years. I think teams are trying to do a little bit of what AAA baseball did several years ago.
I'm gonna say Jacksonville changing their AAA baseball team to, they changed it from the Suns actually into the Jumbo Shrimp, and there was this huge like uproar that people really like the name the Jumbo Shrimp. Now it's really taken on, but I don't think the Rodeo Clowns has that same appeal.
No. See, and you guys can see. I mean, if you're watching on YouTube, I'm wearing like a Chandler Diamondbacks hat. It's an old fall league baseball team, and I collect a bunch of those random minor league hats. I got a Bacon hat. It was a team that changed their name to the Bacon for the Fighting Bacon for a game. I buy a bunch of those random minor league hats.
They went on a sizzling hot streak.
They did, yes. No, but like the Fresno Grizzlies every Tuesday become the Fresno Tacos. Like there's cool things you can do.
Taco Tuesday,
the Rodeo Clowns are not one of those cool things. The coolest
especially
thing,
the logo. No, the logo makes it even more of a joke than just Rodeo Clowns in the first place.
But
I mean, you could be a rodeo clown that's like the bad guy from It. You know, you could be a scary rodeo clown that everyone's afraid of. That is a big thing around the country right now, or it was a year ago anyway. So you could have done that, but no, this is like the goofy rodeo clown that just gets run over all the time.
Did you see the only thing that was good that came out of this? And I'm going to curse for the second time on this show, but it's because of on Reddit, somebody took that logo, put Sarver's face on the clown, and changed it to the Ass Clowns. All right, that was kind of funny. That was kind of funny, but that was a little too much. All right, like this is like somebody asking one of us to go into our profession dressed like a Hooters waitress. It's just like you're never going to get respect again. Okay.
Oh my God, I would do that. No, I can't. I would get sent home.
You work in government.
Can we talk about Hooters just briefly? I've always wondered. I'm like, why did people?
Suns fans, you're welcome. We're finally talking about Hooters.
Why did people go there? There's better places for wings. Like, what do you
really? Are you asking why they go there? There's two reasons, and they're already on display most of the time when guys go in there.
Go
all right?
strip club lunch if that's what you want to see, but who wants to stare at like Hooter girls? They most of the time they're like 17, 18 years old. They probably shouldn't be doing that, honestly. And it's not like their outfits aren't attractive. I've always found it a weird place to go.
Okay, well,
it is a weird, uncomfortable place to go. Yes, absolutely.
Very much so. Like very, very much so. But we're not the creepy guys that they're playing up to.
Well, I see families eating there.
Well, that's because there's a creepy dad that wants to see something.
There has never ever been a family in there that didn't have a dad.
Right, it's never
you don't see the mom and kids going to Hooters for some movies.
He even convince his wife to say okay to that? That's the part I don't understand. I just all of it
because he, just like the old Playboy thing, reads it for the articles. You know, he convinced his wife that he just loves the wings and he loves the atmosphere and all this and the TVs and it's closest to the house. I mean, that's the only way wives and kids go to this place.
Yes, sweetheart, I really love a restaurant that feels like the inside of an old barn, and really, really bad wings. You know, little Timmy loves the wings over at Hooters. We should all go. Let's gather the family up. Timmy's been demanding the wings from Hooters. We all should go as a family. Like, no, Dad's a creeper. That's why. And if I apologize to anybody listening to this that goes to Hooters on the regular, we do love you. Or if Hooters wants to advertise here, I'll read ads for anybody. You can tell on the show.
My great Hooter experiences I did between marriages 15 years ago. I started going to Hooters with some friends of mine and all that. So I had a good memory of it. I got remarried, and one time we went on a trip, and I said, you know what, let's just go into this Hooters. We were in Vegas, and there was a Hooters hotel and all that. And I'm like, let's go. The wings really are good, honey. The wings are good. The wings were terrible, and the waitresses were terrible. And this was Vegas. I'm like, God, come on, put your best foot forward.
Yeah. Anyway, I digress.
There's apparently a shortage of attractive women in Vegas. I don't know. Tim, please cut this out of the actual podcast.
No, I'm getting this. I'm getting this back on track right now. So now that you are back and we were talking about the Suns, we do want to thank a listener for becoming a supporter of the show. Joseph Shook actually hits us up on Twitter.
Joe Shook.
So, hey, thanks, man. We appreciate that. If you do want to become a supporter of the show, we really do appreciate you. Just open up the show notes while you're listening to the podcast right now or watching on YouTube. It's in the comments below. Hit the Become a Supporter button for 99 cents a month. It really does help us out, and we appreciate it.
You know what? We also appreciate people who just want to mail us cash. So we have a fan who was really awesome. He said he doesn't like third-party credit card services. So he actually emailed us and asked if he could just mail us a small pile of cash. And we appreciate that. Greg immediately put his address in the email thread.
Which I'm regretting now. You never know who these people could be.
I love this though, Vince. Vince, I love you as a fan. And his comment is there. Let's see. I know things are getting rough when Espo is spokespersoning for some questionable outlets. But you know what? Everybody that comes up as a sponsor and that we push, those are really good products. So, but I do really appreciate anybody who wants to mail us cash.
No, hold on. I have to say 100%. I have no idea who the sponsor is on the show. Greg recorded it, so I'm not.
It's Baboon.
Oh, you're not going to take any ownership?
It's baboontothemoon.com. They're a bag place. They do fantastic bags, I'm sure. I don't own one, but I'll read anything. I'm Ron Burgundy, all right? If you put it in there, I'll read it. I am a bag man. I love bags.
Just don't put the question mark at the end of the.
I'm a bag man.
The company that hosts the show sends us those. The companies do not send us products. We do not try them out. I'm not endorsing.
No. Well, if we got free swag from these companies, then we'd be more likely to try them out.
Right. We didn't, so we're not endorsing them whatsoever.
But for the cost of those Hooters wings that you're going to go buy tonight, you can
get your
the show.
Baboon to the Moon bag.
No, you can sponsor the show. Forget Baboon to the Moon. Yeah. I just wanted you to sponsor the show.
Right. For $1 a month, we really appreciate it. Just open up those show notes and hit the Become a Sponsor button. So this is something.
Or just throw your leftover ones from the last Hooters night and put them in an envelope and mail them to us.
I feel like I'm going to be laundering drug money now. That people are just mailing me cash in envelopes.
Unmarked bills, please.
Unmarked $5 bills coming in.
This thing has gone so off the rails today.
Ready to get back on. You guys ready?
Yes, please.
Okay, so it is something that has kind of been brewing, I think, all season long, especially on Suns Twitter, but really anywhere where Suns fans are talking, is the free throw disparity that the Suns are getting. So I want to break this down a little bit. Right now, and the Suns are aware of this too, because they actually contacted the league office regarding this free throw disparity. So right now, the Suns' opponents are averaging 7.5 more attempts per game than the Suns. The Suns are fouling 30th at 24 fouls per game, 30th in the league. The Suns are sending opponents to the line on 24% of their shooting possessions. The Suns overall in the entire season have shot 943 free throw attempts compared to opponents shooting 1,263 free throw attempts. So far, the Suns, as of the time of recording this episode, have played 46 games, and they have only shot more free throws than their opponents, and it's 7 out of those 46 games.
This is simple. It's the old phrase, respect is earned and not given. And this team has been bad for so long with a group of young guys that isn't known around the league. That is simply it. They're not going to get the benefit of a call, and we've known this about the NBA for decades. That superstars get calls, guys that are respected around the league get calls, and teams. It's not a new thing. So like, there's no shock here that the Suns just don't get the respect. And if it's a 50-50 call, it's just not going to go their way right now.
I am a little bit flummoxed, I guess the word is, on how few foul calls TJ Warren gets. And he's in his 5th year, so I'm not sure if it's just a youth thing. But I will tell you that on committing fouls, the Suns have committed the foul at least 95% of the time they get called for them. The Suns, they are very handsy, if we're going to call a guy hands on the team. They are very handsy. They do go for steals a lot, and they do commit fouls. And then you've got DeAndre Ayton. When he does contest, he's not entirely great at keeping his arms up and stuff. So I really think that on the defensive end, giving up the 27.5 free throws a game, that's the Suns doing it to themselves almost all the time. Getting the foul calls on the other end, yeah, that does seem like they're not getting as many calls as we would like them to get if the calls are going to be going against him on the other end. So for sure, TJ Warren gets way too few calls. Devin Booker gets a couple of few calls. DeAndre Ayton doesn't even try for him. That's part of it, is DeAndre Ayton doesn't even know how to use his body to draw a foul while he's finishing. And that'll get better. But TJ Warren really is the one that stands out to me who doesn't get enough calls.
Well, I don't think it's necessarily him because yes, he's his 5th year. He has kind of proved himself, but the Suns have been so bad in those 5 years that I think that weighs into it too. I mean, these refs are human. There's going to be a bias naturally, just because there's a natural human bias in everything, whether people try to say there isn't or not. So I think that's definitely part of it. And the other part to your DeAndre Ayton point is when you don't get the guy the ball in the second half. I mean, the second half is when a lot of big guys, and in particular the fourth quarter too, get a lot of those fouls. When guys draw a lot of those fouls when guys are more tired, those kind of things. And the team just seems to not get DeAndre Ayton the ball in the second half of games, no matter how well the first half has gone.
Speaking of the Suns fouling, as far as like fouling percentage goes, there are only 3 players on the Suns this season that are in the top 50 percentile for their position in terms of not fouling as often as they should. Those 3 players include Trevor Ariza, who only fouled on 2% of the possessions. Ryan Anderson fouling on 3.7%. That puts him in the 63 percentile. And DeAndre Ayton fouling 3.6%, which puts him in the 66th.
Wait, are you saying getting fouled or committing fouls?
At fouling the opponent. So
okay.
As far the entire team is in the bottom 50 percentile at fouling. So to Dave's point, they're being really handsy. So this is the way I broke it down, right? So, and I realize that it's not pickup ball, but in pickup ball, there comes a time in which a certain guy that we're playing with is just fouling on every single possession. And so every single possession, players are calling fouls, right? And it gets really fucking annoying. So there's a point to where you're like, well, stop calling fouls, but also you just have to play better defense.
Stop committing fouls, right? Yeah.
Well, and the guys you named on that list of that didn't really foul were 2 guys who weren't really trying, and Ayton who's afraid to.
Right. So you have two vets basically. So to your guys' points, have the reputation. And also Ryan Anderson's small sample size. He didn't defend anybody, so I take that out. But and then to your point,
it's hard to commit a foul if you don't get close to the other guy.
Right. And to your point, Espo, DeAndre Ayton being so scared of committing a foul that he doesn't.
Yeah. We need to talk about DeAndre Ayton a little bit on just overall. DeAndre DeAndre Ayton being scared of committing fouls, I mean, that is an accurate way to put it, Tim, for sure. I don't think like he's like afraid, like he shakes or anything like that. I think he just tells himself, it's my job not to get in foul trouble. So, I mean, he's not afraid of the opponent. He just doesn't want to be in foul trouble in the second half. That's ingrained in his DNA. But the problem is that he doesn't commit enough fouls to establish himself in the paint for sure. He doesn't commit the big foul when he needs to. He's always got fouls in his back pocket for sure that he could be using, and that's what's frustrating a lot of fans and myself as well, for sure, absolutely. But I think he's already told himself before the tip that he is just not going to collect fouls because he doesn't want to be in foul trouble. And he was always told by his coaches, I'm sure, especially Sean Miller down at U of A, look, man, you cannot be the guy I have to put on the bench in the second half. I need you. So he's got that in his head. And it's going to take him deciding which fouls he can give and which ones he can't. And I guarantee you that about a year or 2 or 3 from now, we'll hear him actually give us a very dispassionate explanation as to exactly how he commits fouls now and when he commits fouls, because he'll have premeditated everything he does. That's just the way he is as a player.
There was an Elliot Kobo one that really pissed me off the other day. I think it was against the Raptors. Elliot Kobo was defending a 2-on-1 break. I don't remember who the two players were for the Raptors, but he was the only one defending it because why would anybody else on the Suns get back in transition D? And
Exactly.
He was right under the basket, and basically they scored on him. And I was just thinking, man, Elliot Kobo, you play like 15 minutes a game, hard foul. Who cares? You have fouls to use.
Well, and then the other thing is if you're going to foul on a fast break, if you're going to foul in a broken play situation where they're scoring quick, at least stop them from scoring. So either don't commit the foul at all, like they probably all think, oh, this guy's going to score no matter what because he got past me. Or if you do commit the foul, go for the ball and then make sure that you commit enough of a foul that they don't get 3 points out of it instead of 2.
Right. Send them to the damn line.
But only for 2 shots, not 1.
Right. I agree. So on that note, let's go ahead and take a break. If you're watching on the YouTube version, you want to see the entire or listen to the entire episode, you can always subscribe wherever you listen to your podcast at.